Hi everyone, Lisa here with Mini Me in Tennessee, and welcome back to my channel. I have a question for you guys. Have you done your research regarding weight loss surgery? Just keep watching. Yes guys, today is sort of a sit down just discussion video regarding weight loss surgery in general for anybody that may be watching that is considering weight loss surgery. I know I have a lot of new subscribers, some of which are considering weight loss surgery, so I kind of thought this might be a good video to post since there are so many newbies out there in Mini Me in Tennessee land. So the question that I proposed to you was, have you done your research regarding weight loss surgery? If you are considering weight loss surgery, it is so important that you thoroughly research every subject that you can think of regarding weight loss surgery. There are so many different types of procedures out there available to you. You need to research all of them and discuss with your surgeon which one is going to work best for you. You may think you know by reading the research, but once you sit down with your surgeon and have that conversation and you go over all of your current symptoms, things that are attributing to your weight loss, or comorbidities that have come into your life because of your obesity. Once you sit down with your surgeon and you have the conversation about your medical history and the things that you hope to achieve from the surgery itself, you may find out that he recommends a total different surgery than what you initially thought you were going to have. First, let's talk about obesity in general. Like I said, I do have a lot of new followers, even those that are not necessarily interested in weight loss surgery, because I did bring over a lot of folks in regards to my lifestyle videos. So in case someone out there is watching who is not familiar or doesn't really know what they think they know about obesity, here's a few tidbits for you. First of all, obesity is not just about someone being lazy and stuffing their face. There's more behind obesity than just that. It's a disease, and a lot of us have this disease because of other underlying issues in our life, such as depression, anxiety, eating disorders, binge eating. There's all sorts of different reasons why obesity is not just about being lazy and stuffing your face. There's so much more to it than that. There's actually a video that I refer to often, and I will link that below. It sort of explains obesity a little bit more in a medical and scientific term. So if you are interested in knowing more about obesity in that sense, I will link that below for you, assuming I can find it still. It's been a long time since I've actually looked for that video, but I will link it below for you because I would really encourage you to go and watch that. What we should know is that obesity increases the risk of life-threatening type of diseases, such as diabetes and hypertension. These types of diseases can really affect the quality of our lives and can also decrease our lifespan. In addition to that, they are very expensive to treat a lot of times. So if you're someone who is sort of weighing the cost, and we may talk about that in a future video, but if you're weighing the cost of actually having weight loss surgery, sort of think about it in the terms, well, in the long run, I'm spending all of this money trying to treat all of these illnesses that I'm having because of my obesity. So if I'm no longer obese, those illnesses may, I'm saying may, because there's a higher percentage chance that they will go away, but not always 100% chance. So the chances are greater, but we can't really say for sure. But think about the money that you're spending on treating those diseases, and then the money that you might spend to have the weight loss surgery, and then those diseases going away and you no longer having that medical expense for many years to come. Bariatric surgery gives us a chance. Those of us who have been battling weight loss for years and years and years, who may have some success with some sort of a diet, but then what happens? Once you stop that diet and you go back to your normal way of eating, you're going to gain weight again. And chances are you're going to gain back all the weight you lost on that diet and then some. That's why diets don't work, guys. Give me an amen if you have been dieting over and over and over again for years and years and years, just to have that battle, that yo-yo dieting as we call it. I prefer to refer to bariatric surgery as more of a second chance. It gives you a tool in order to get a massive amount of weight off of your body and gives you the time to sort of change your habits and change your lifestyle. So when you get to your goal weight or your maintenance weight, you take all of the things that you have learned over the past year and a half that you've gone through the weight loss phase, take those into your new normal lifestyle and continue to maintain your weight in a healthy way instead of having to refer back to all of that yo-yo dieting that we've done in the past. I mentioned before that there are different types of procedures available in regards to bariatric or weight loss surgery. The type of surgery that I had is called gastric bypass or RNY or Roux-en-Y. Many different names. A lot of these different types of procedures do have nicknames and so on and different medical terminology for what they are. But for me personally, for gastric bypass, I had my surgeon go in and he decreased the size of my stomach from the size of a football to the size of an egg, basically. And in addition to that, he rerouted my intestines in a way that when the food does leave my tummy, I'm not absorbing all of the carbs and fats and things that are bad for me in the food. In turn, I'm also malabsorbing some things that are good for me. So I have to take vitamins in order to make up for that. Gastric bypass is just one procedure in the various procedures available in bariatric surgery. So I would definitely advise you to make sure that you research each and every one and don't just throw away the idea of gastric bypass, for example, because of the whole rerouting of the intestine thing. I know that can sound a little bit scary, and the sleeve sounds a lot less invasive than gastric bypass does for sure, because all you're doing in that particular surgery is reducing the size of the stomach, and that may be the surgery for you, but just know what the differences are in the surgeries so that you can better decide which one is going to fit you better. Just throwing out one example, when it comes to VSG or sleeve or vertical sleeve gastrectomy, each one of them I mentioned before has different nicknames, but with that particular surgery, a lot of people have issues down the road with GERD, even if they didn't have it before surgery. And I think it has something to do with the way that the stomach is shaped. It's more of a sleeve or tube shape than a round or egg shape like it is with the gastric bypass. Something about that sort of, I don't know. You'll have to go find out the medical and the science behind it. It can cause you to have GERD, even if you didn't have it before. If you do currently have it, it can very well make it worse. With gastric bypass, it's supposed to be the opposite effect. If you already have GERD, it can very well take that away completely, or it can very well decrease a lot of your symptoms. Just one example of what can happen between two different types of surgeries. And don't throw away the idea of one surgery just because it sounds a little bit more scary than the other, because it may not be as scary as you think. I have an example of something that I want to share with you, and this is for gastric bypass in particular. Since I did have gastric bypass, I wanted to use these particular percentages based on what I know more. So first of all, I want to read this to you. According to research published in the Cleveland Clinic Journal of Medicine, the following percentage of patients experienced improved or complete resolution of these health conditions following laparoscopic gastric bypass. So guys, just losing weight is not all of the benefits you might receive from weight loss surgery. Let's take a look at this graphic. 55% of people that have had gastric bypass have had a decrease in depression. 57% a decrease in migraines. 74 to 98%. Can you believe that? That number is amazing. Have had reduced obstructive sleep apnea. That has happened for me personally. 82% have had reduced asthma symptoms. I can also attest to that. That is probably one of my most loved benefits from having the gastric bypass, is that my asthma is so much better. 63% have seen a decrease in their cholesterol levels. 72 to 98%, here we are talking about GERD with gastric bypass. That's an amazing number as well. 41 to 76% degenerative arthritis, and then 83% type 2 diabetes. Guys, if you have diabetes, I have heard so many amazing testimonials about how they were completely cured of their diabetes after having gastric bypass. I did not have diabetes at the time that I had my surgery, but I can definitely tell you it was in my future because it was a genetic thing in my family that usually came about in the 60 age range. It was a very high chance that I would have developed diabetes had I not done something about my obesity. And we'll go back to the GERD. I get this testimonial from my followers all the time that had the sleeve. I'm not trying to knock the sleeve. I just want you guys to understand, because GERD is a big thing. I hear it all the time in my comments. I'm getting a revision to gastric bypass from my sleeve because of GERD. I hear it all the time. All the time. If you don't have GERD now and you want to have the sleeve, it may not be an issue for you, but just know it could be. It could be. And it could be so bad that you end up needing a revision. Watch YouTube videos. It's out there all over YouTube. As I said, I'm not knocking the VSG. I'm not knocking the sleeve. It has been very successful for a lot of people. But there is a significant risk of you developing GERD or making it worse if you have that particular surgery. I'm not a medical expert. Take what I'm saying right now with a grain of salt. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing from my followers and what I'm seeing on YouTube. And the discussion that I had with my surgeon, because I had initially decided to have VSG and then switched over to gastric bypass simply because I had a discussion with my surgeon about my GERD, and we decided that would be a better procedure for me. Initially, I was afraid of gastric bypass because of the intestinal rerouting. And guys, I only have my own particular experience and opinions to share with you in that regard. As I mentioned, I am not a medical expert, but I don't feel any different having my intestines rerouted. I don't feel any different. I still feel like the same person. In the beginning, things were a little bit weird when it came to digestion, and I'll leave that to the imagination. But over time, things sort of returned back to normal, or they did for me. A lot of my other followers can pop in the comments below what their experience has been with that. I don't know, for some reason when I heard rerouting the intestine, that just sounded terrible to me. It sounded awful to me. It sounded like I was going to feel different for some reason. I don't know, but I don't. So, as I said, don't throw away the idea of a different procedure based on it sounding scary. Talk to your surgeon about it. Talk to people that have had that particular surgery and let them tell you based on their personal experiences. I recommend that for you. But yeah, it really wasn't that much different. And the thing that it gave me having gastric bypass over having the sleeve too is the sleeve, you just get restriction. With gastric bypass, you get restriction and malabsorption. So I'm not absorbing all of the fat and calories that are ending up in my intestinal tract. That being said, have you done your research? If you have, or you think you have, you might need to do more, right? Based on this video today. Be sure that you research everything. You want to know all of the complications that can happen, all of the symptoms, and the first year and a half of your surgery. You're going to know what's going to go on because it's hard. It's not the easy way out. It's hard. So be sure you're doing as much research as possible. If you are still considering having weight loss surgery, no matter what the procedure is, there are many more than the two I discussed today, and you have done all of your research and you're still curious about weight loss surgery, I feel like the next step you should make is to go to a seminar. Go online, look at the different bariatric programs in your area, and look at reviews on the surgeons. Look at their past. Usually on their website they will have all of their history, and you can meet with more than one. Typically they will do a free consultation in the beginning. Meet with more than one until you get the one you're comfortable with. But I would suggest going to a seminar. A lot of these bariatric programs will host a seminar a couple times a week. All you have to do is call them up and say, hey, I'd like to attend a seminar, and they'll get you scheduled, or you may even be able to do it on their website. For anybody that's local here around the Knoxville, East Tennessee area, and you don't even have to be local, my surgeon gets people from all over the United States because he's that good. He's that good. He's no longer with New Life Bariatric Center where he was when I started. He's with Tanova something, and I will link it down below in case you're in the area and you want to check him out. His name is Dr. Stephen Boyce, and he was amazing. One final thing, if you are interested more about my particular history and weight loss, I will have some stats for you in my description box below, but I urge you to go watch all the videos because I did start my journey just as soon as I decided to have the surgery. And there's lots of other information in the past 3-4 years I've been posting here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Don't forget to comment below for these newbies and your thoughts and something that you want to say to them in regards to if they're thinking about having weight loss surgery. Give them a little bit of your experience. I'm sure they would love to know. Thanks again guys so much for joining me today. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so before you head out, and I will see you guys in the next one.